Is chivalry dead?
Yes, chivalry is very much dead. I feel guys feel very entitled.
Why are men still expected to pay for the first date?
They're not expected. It's just nice.
What?
You don't think that a lot of women would reject a second date after a guy doesn't pay the first time?
Yes, I've done that. I'm not gonna lie. I've done it just because you're inviting me out to a date, like you want to impress me. So yeah.
No, I get.
The modern lady. Hi, modern lady. Alright guys, y'all looking at the thumbnail, y'all looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Shout out to YouTube content creator, It's Complicated. Fantastic content over there, my G. Guys, if you're not familiar, I'll leave a link to him down in the description box down below. Make sure y'all go check it out and support the content. Title of today's video, Silver and Copper Spoons. Rules of modern dating and understanding women when it's complicated. Without further ado.
Can you define minimalism?
Not by definition. Not by the intoxication that I'm on.
Can I define
You're
it
a
for
simple
you?
buyer.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for
Okay,
it.
minimalism
Needs.
is basically the bare essentials for survival.
Yeah, that's better.
The opposite of being materialistic.
Okay.
Can a man be a minimalist and still be attractive to most modern women?
No. No.
He should be able to, but
Yeah,
the
but-
harsh reality, I don't feel like he is.
No. Absolutely. Absolutely not. And again, that's the true definition of the word minimalist, right? Like sometimes on my channel, I say that I'm a minimalist, but I'm really not a pure minimalist. You know what I'm saying? By minimalist, I mean that I am very aware and conscious throughout my entire life of what comes into my bank account and what leaves my bank account. And I'm very conscientious on the decisions and the choices that I'm making from a purchasing perspective. But if I look around my crib, you know what I'm saying? There's some things that's in here. And really, the things that's in here is to increase or enhance the experience of when a young lady comes over, because I'm a very simple guy. You know what I'm saying? So when they come over and they don't see any pictures and shit on your wall, right? Like, you know, like you got like a cot for a bed, you know what I'm saying? No headboard, you know what I mean? Like and you got 3 pairs of shirts in your closet and 2 pairs of shoes, right? And 1 pair of pants. That's some true minimalism shit, all right? They're not banging with that. Not only are you not gonna get the viscous innards, but they're gonna go and tell their homegirls and they're not gonna give it to you either. The modern lady today will judge you off of that shit. So take note, but most of y'all already know that. That's why most dudes have shiny things, because it seems to attract the modern lady like blood to a shark in water. Let's keep going.
Don't women typically want a man to provide a luxurious lifestyle?
I would say for the most part, ideally, yes.
Do you find
Luxurious is a little bit OD. I would say most modern ladies want an above average lifestyle. Luxurious though, that's a little OD. Let's keep going.
it ironic that many modern women complain about things like capitalism and climate change when most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Great question.
That is a good point.
It's a
As
great-
far as like, I mean, even whether it come to clothing, music,
Yeah.
everything, I mean, it's women driven first. I mean, that's
True.
what's going to be the breadwinner right now.
How large is the carbon footprint of keeping modern Western women happy?
It's big as shit. Larger than men.
I would say it's fairly large.
Yo, that's shout out to IC. Fantastic succession of questions that you're asking right there, my brother. The thing is that when you consider the carbon footprint, some of the things that you would consider is transportation being one of them, right? Like for these goods and these services, these truckers are driving, that's in their back, right? The building factories, you know, that you have these factories where smog or whatever comes up out of it, and that contributes to the carbon footprint. Should even like disposal, right? Getting rid of the products, the goods and the services, right? And if the the concept is that the modern lady today spends 75 cents on the dollar compared to the modern man, then the thought is, well, are they not contributors to most of our carbon footprint? Okay, because they're doing most of the purchases of these goods. These companies would not be making, transporting, and then disposing of these goods if it wasn't for demand. Okay, what's actually interesting about that, if you go to your local conservationist group, I would argue that it's probably majority women in there. Fascinating question. Let's keep going.
I like men that are more minimalist. Like, that's not high, like super shoppy. I like, I like simple men.
Cause I'm the shoppy.
I want to be.
How large
Bullshit.
How large is the carbon footprint of keeping most modern Western women happy?
But before that question gets answered, the reason why I say that that's bullshit, all right, I'm going to keep it a stack right over here, okay? Keep it a stack. I've never heard, and this is just my assumption, okay? I've never heard a modern lady with implants say that she likes simple men. Have you? No, that's gonna look weird with my. Never mind. Okay, I was gonna bring the cap out. Anyway, let's keep going. It's either she's genetically gifted or my assumption is correct. But anyway, let's keep going on.
Wait, what? I don't even know what that means.
How large is the carbon footprint of keeping most modern Western women happy?
What the fuck is it?
I mean, I know when they say cars leave a carbon footprint. I don't know.
That's correct.
Because we all need a lot of stuff.
Well, in other words, do you find it ironic that many modern women complain about climate change when most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Climate change.
That's what I was saying. It was something.
In other words, women are the largest consumers.
Yes.
Oh, so it's our fault.
No.
The fucking planet science. See, this is what
No, I'm just asking.
Oh God.
Actually, guys drive cars more than us.
It was banned for us to even drive cars in the beginning of time. Remember the car?
Yo, imagine that switched real quick. Imagine that it was the flip side of a question like this, is that, well, don't men contribute to this, that, and then the guys go, look at this effing woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it tolerated when they do it? But on the flip side, it's cringy as hell. Why is that? Why is that this is accepted like this? But notice what they did, okay? When hit with a purely logical, right, good question about carbon footprint and then women's contribution towards the footprint, they find a way to blame it on men. This fucking man. You let me down, ladies.
Call us a witch if we knew how to drive a car.
Well, I mean, in Muslim countries, women still can't drive.
Sucks.
See,
that does suck.
it must be men.
It must be man. It's all man's world. It's a man's world.
Yeah, it's a man's world. It's his fault that we're gonna die.
Is there anything in society?
Oh, that's funny.
Made that car.
Is there anything in society that's not blamed on men?
No, blame it on the man.
Yeah, it's his world.
Blame it on the man. There it is.
Blame it on him.
Accountability.
If you have a woman that has had a silver spoon up their ass their whole life,
Oh, he's
it's gonna
country.
be tough to please them. But
That's
if you
true.
have a woman that comes from nothing, it's going to be easy money.
Okay, but wouldn't you say that the majority of women still expect a man to be a provider?
Let me just comment on that real quick. I don't agree. Here's the thing. I've met affluent women that came from affluence, and it's a mixed bag. Some require to keep up with that, but then some who, I would say the much more mature of them, really understand the concept that I talk about on this channel all day, is that the money is not going to sustain happiness, right? And they're much more in the understanding that it's relationships, right? Building and sustaining, creating magnificent relationships with people, creating loved ones, right, within your life. But I've also met some real, in their past, poverty stricken, dusty, right? Like all right. And within that, require pure and utter opulence. That's the word of today. All right. Opulence. Okay. And, it is what it is. I think a lot of it is due to the environment that you grow up in. And if you saw money was put up on a pedestal, or fine things were put up on a pedestal from your family or your neighborhood, right? Like, depending upon where you grew up, then, you know, you're going to put different amounts on that on a proverbial pedestal. Anyway, let's keep going.
Depends on what state you're from. Let's go to Oklahoma. It's 50-50. You got the silver spoons and you got the copper spoons. You know, silver spoon, you got to break your back, spend $200 a day. You got the copper spoon. Hey, let me make you something. Let me make you a bracelet, homemade. Let me write you a card. That makes them more happier than money.
Okay.
Let me be clear too. When I talk about if they came from whatever the background is that they came from and they don't require for it, it still doesn't mean that it's not like the modern lady ideology that you are still supposed to be doing better than them. Right. I still think most of them require that. But as far as their requirement, kind of stepping into it from a dating perspective, it's still a mixed bag. But the requirement on the men is still there. Trust to believe that. Let's keep going.
What if we apply that to city girls?
I don't date city girls, country girls only.
Okay. What is the difference between city girls and country girls?
Oh, my God. Well, a city girl can't go to the lake and drink beer all day, vodka, go sit by the bonfire
He's
that
cool.
night, and survive. A city girl goes to the bar, takes 2-3 shots, drinks a beer, and starts acting fucking silly. And they just, I don't know, dude. They're not country girls. Country girls are different breeds.
What's hilarious about that is, you know, we do content on the group called the City Girls, you know what I'm saying? Which is a complete antithesis of the standards and the values and the morals that we talk about and we stand for on this channel. You know, if there was a group called the Country Girls, we would probably all enjoy the things that they talk about. That's funny, ain't it?
Why do so many women seem to be obsessed with luxury and status?
It's just how you raised.
Yeah, environmental.
Is that natural or learned behavior?
It's
Learned.
behavior.
Why does this typically apply to city girls?
They're more out in the city in regards to in the country. I was born in I
More
was
money
from the country, so not like how city girls are.
It's more money in the city.
Okay.
They're more programmed. It's all an image.
Big true.
Do you think people are more likely to be held accountable for bad behavior if they live in a small town as opposed to a big city?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a small town. You're known around. So if you do one thing, you're going to do the next thing. They're going to know you to do these things. So in regards to a bigger city, people don't know you that much. You don't have that many people who know you in regards to a small city.
I can see
you're
this.
more pinpointed in a small town than a larger town because more people know you in a small town.
So would that mean that small town girls are better prospects for relationships
Potentially, yeah.
than city girls?
Yes.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
So if you're a city girl, you're used to seeing heels, you're used to seeing sparkle, you're used to seeing bling. If you're a
That's what
country
you're
girl,
used to.
you're used to seeing
Cowboy
cowgirl
boots,
boots and jeans and stuff like that. And it's just really the product of your environment.
Do you think people are more likely to be held accountable for their behavior if they live in a small town as opposed to a big city?
No, because I feel like if you have to be accountable for your behavior in your group. Like if you deal with a certain amount of people, those certain amount of people are gonna make you be accountable for your behavior.
I've lived in a big city and I've lived in a small town, and I feel like small towns, they're more like hostile and more like a little bit like
Because they know
aggressive. Just because they know each other and it's so small, everyone knows each other, everyone's in everyone's business.
They're both right.
And it's more like you don't get that freedom like as in a big city. No one knows who you are. Like you just can go outside and no one's gonna even know who you are. If you're in a little city and you've been in like any situation, they're gonna know who you are and where you're from and everything about your story. And like
They're both right. And the reason why is it made me think back to cults like during the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And most cults came from small towns, small cities. So in terms of holding yourself accountable, right? Like if the cult believes in some obnoxious shit, right? They're not going to hold you accountable for obnoxious shit, right? It's just normal to them. And that can be in a small town. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thought of, so if you're in a small town and you're around good values, good morals, prudent people, then you are more in accord to being held accountable for your behavior as opposed to being in a city and it being more dispersed, more diverse, right? So, I mean, it kind of just depends because, again, that diversity within a large city can hold you more accountable for the different types of people that are around. So let's keep going.
There's a different type of standard and status. I mean, I grew up in a church. So.
Wouldn't that make girls from a small town better dating prospects?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you define chivalry?
I always thought of chivalry as a man just being like a gentleman.
Is chivalry dead?
I don't think so.
Is chivalry dead?
Yes, chivalry is very much dead. I feel guys feel very entitled that they don't have to do certain things because now they just, I don't know.
Whose fault is that?
It's just becoming more
And it's just
equal.
different generations. So.
Why are men still expected to pay for the first date?
They're not expected. It's just nice.
It's
What?
common courtesy.
You don't think that a lot of women would reject a second date after a guy doesn't pay the first time?
Yes, I've done that.
I
I'm not
think
gonna
so.
lie. I've done it just because you're inviting me out to a date. Like you want to impress me. So yeah.
No,
like,
I get.
The modern lady. Hi, modern lady. Now that you're looking at this interview of yourself talking, does it feel a little weird? Does it feel a little weird? It probably should. You set up the argument of modern men being entitled because chivalry is dead. Then you also say the exact goddamn statement that men should pay on the first date. You can't have both. What you're seeing here is the pure and utter grisly effects of a dirty echo chamber, okay? One of which brings you into modern times full of the responsibilities that men have, but none of the accountability that men have. That's what you're seeing. How dare you assert entitlement and then talk about paying on the first date and that you judge men who don't do it because it's nice. Absurd.
Get that,
I
but
guess
I'm
that's
saying,
two different things. Because me personally, like, if your vibe's there and I genuinely want to go out with you as much as you wanted to go out with me, then if I had to pay for it, and it's different.
Oh.
Like, if I really fucked with
Hold
you,
her
like,
accountable.
I wouldn't mind going on a second date because at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's genuine. Like, you know what I mean? It's genuine feelings and vibes.
Look at-
like,
She's nicer than me. I wouldn't.
Look at.
Definitely
You-
like
you
know,
could
opening the
stay not
doors,
nice with
different
your
things
cats.
Like that. The whole traditional, lay your coat across a puddle. I'm not gonna be doing that with my coat, but yeah, traditionally.
is chivalry
Movies
dead?
and Disney.
In a sense, yes.
We're consumed
I
by
do
it.
feel like it's dead, but men can't be fully to blame of that. I feel like women, certain women, based on their standards and how they present themselves and what they bring to the table with that, they've kind of diminished it in their own selves.
Yeah,
Doesn't
two-way
chivalry
street.
mean that manhood is often defined as a servitude to women?
To a certain degree. I mean,
It's
'cause
one of the
as far
definitions.
as far as a man, I mean, if you're in that situation with a lady,
Traditionally.
and head of the family or a household, then you're definitely going to playing a part of that. You're definitely going to please your lady and
Right.
do whatever is comfortable for
Why
her.
are men still expected to pay for the first date?
That is a good question. I mean, I would like to have the answer to that myself.
Okay, is womanhood defined as a servitude to men?
On a first date, a man should pay, but
Let me try to answer this question real quick. It's because modern women want the benefits of modernism without the cons. They want the benefits of their traditional roles without the cons. That's essentially, it's what it is. It's the cake and eating it too.
But that's what I'm saying. Why are men still expected to pay for first dates if chivalry isn't a servitude to women?
it's the way the world makes us be.
Wow.
Okay. Is womanhood defined as a servitude to men?
No.
So once again, why are we talking about male privilege when society has always been chivalrous to women?
I do not know.
Does chivalry mean that manhood is often defined as a servitude to women?
I rest my
I don't
case.
think it has to mean that, but I think there are some people that could define it as that.
She's smart.
Okay, well, why are men still expected to pay for dates?
I don't expect them to pay for dates.
But men often are, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Is womanhood defined as a servitude to men?
I don't think so.
So why are we talking about male privilege when society has always been chivalrous to women?
You make a good point.
By smart, there's certain mannerisms. I look at certain people and I say high IQ, high degree of intelligence. She gives me engineer vibes. I could be wrong though. Let's keep going.
Shouldn't be expected to do that just because they're a man. I feel like the generation that we're living in now should be actually back more down to a humble, equal position. Men shouldn't have to provide. What if the woman is the breadwinner?
Back to the team thing, it's all a part of a position. You know, I mean, of course, men financially, but women, they have their own ways as far as even just maintaining the castle while you're at work. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that.
So why are we talking about male privilege when society has always been chivalrous to women?
I don't know.
Would you agree that women hold sex as leverage over men?
Sometimes.
What do men hold as leverage over women?
Probably power, strength.
Okay, a lot of people say money.
I can take that.
Don't modern women have their own money?
I think they do. I have my own money.
More importantly, when men have money, aren't they expected to be providers and give away their power?
I think society expects them to be like that.
So why are we talking about male privilege when women have exclusive power over men? In other words, women control exclusive access to sex. Do men control exclusive access to money?
I mean, I do agree that there is woman privilege as there is male privilege. I just think that we each have different privileges.
Yes.
Would you agree that a healthy sex life is part of a person's well-being?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel like even just not just in a relationship, but for that person, you know, it's a sense of relief, and it's also, you know, a place of connection too with that significant other or whatever the case may be.
All right, guys, I'm gonna stop the video right there. Fantastic content. Fantastic content. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me up to this point in the video. I'm gonna leave the link down below yet again. Go over there. There's a lot more of the video. There's tons of videos on this content creator's platform, on his channel. So go over there, take a look, engage in the conversation, engage in the discussion. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Until next time, YouTube.